Alright, let's jump right into this tutorial. This is going to be 100% scissor cut, natural free flowing cut, textured box layered fringe with a mini mullet. This is my third time cutting this client. We're just going over a consultation to see exactly what he wants. We've tried a slick back before and he did like it, but he wanted to result back to the box layered fringe. Personally, I think it suits him the most. We start this cut with a 5-panel section. This is kind of a hard one to teach because it's pretty visual, but we're gonna come in on a horizontal angle, elevating off of the mastoid, and then we're gonna hyper direct when we get closer to the nape area. The reason for the hyper direction is so that we can see a bit of the mullet at the end flick out and give a bit of a lettuce effect. Now we're gonna continue this section upward and we're gonna meet in the middle of the new section and the pre-existing section and follow it down to the nape and hyperdirect again. Now we keep going till we hit the top part of his crown and we're just going to keep meeting in the middle. The reason for that is so that it creates more of a box shape at the end result, creating a more flattering look for his canvas. The back of his head is naturally really flat and he doesn't have a lot of head back. So in order to counteract that, we need to have the layers and movement go into each other and create more of that pronounced shape near the crown. Just take a minute to look at that movement, y'all. So before filming, I already did his right side of his head, and I just showed you the tutorial on the left side of his head. I'm just cross-checking the reference going in the middle because I thought there was a little bit too much weight buildup. But then we go to the corner panel of his head, and you see where my hand's positioned? That's where that cross-checking for those layers is appropriate. I know it's a little confusing, but it's the only way I can really explain it. Now you take a feather razor and we're going to raise the line. You have to check where his hairline naturally sits, but I just believed with his head shape I didn't want too much lettuce. I took it up about 1/4 inch, being mindful that we still want a little bit of flick out on the right and on the left of his lettuce. Go in with your liner and get all that overhang, but look at that, it's already looking beautiful. So I think this is a challenging part for a lot of barbers. Let me solve this for you. We're connecting his left side panel into the graduation we already cut at the back. You got to be mindful of where the head rounds off and where it is flat. So you see me over directing using the previous guide from the back. Now that creates a triangle shape, which is a buildup of weight on his round surface. My knuckles are resting on his scalp, and that is tapering the layering right to his head, setting the forward graduation exactly where we want it to go. And we just keep continuing with these horizontal sections, over directing, meeting in the middle, sometimes a little lower than normal at the back to build a stronger buildup of weight. But it's really a mathematical system, and your dry cutting at the end is like the other 15 to 20% of the finished silhouette. It's kind of like fading. Fading, you use a clipper to give a nice and blurry fade using your guards and numbers, but then sometimes the math doesn't math. You have to use a lot of corner work, 0.5 guard, go up higher than you think just to make the end result blurry. Once I understood that fundamental comparison, it really changed the perspective on how I treat my scissor cutting. Alright, now we're going to start with a mohawk section from the most protruding part of his crown down to his hairline. Alright, now pay close attention to how my fingers are gripping the hair and the angle that my wrist is sitting on. I wanted to create more of a thick layer at the back, and I'm slowly contouring it to the roundness of his head because it's going to sit forward like a fringe. When you naturally go with that movement, it makes the overall end product sit so much nicer. Now we're continuing the exact same process, but we're not going to go with the roundness of his head. We're going to keep meeting in the middle of each section to create more of a box shape from the front profile. He has a very oval head, and I know you're not seeing his cut from the front, but ultimately it's oval and you want it to sit square to balance the contrast. Now we're just cross-sectioning our work, taking horizontal sections and pulling it up right to the middle, and anything little that we missed, we're just evening it out. He has nice, wispy, curly hair, so you don't have to point cut or add too much texture. Now, this is a little visual practice for myself. I like to play around with it and see how the curls are going to sit. This is still wet. I'm going in with my scissor, trimming his bangs, and applying some nice matte paste into his hair. For haircut you want to see more texture with, I always add paste before blow drying. I didn't capture the blow drying on camera, but look how nice this haircut's sitting. Dry and wispy, it's accentuating his facial features, and even the grays in his hair are layering very nice with the pepper look. It's a nice salt and pepper look. Now we're ready to fine detail the cut. You just got to do the dry cutting when it's dry. Get the hairline proper. You don't need to use a trimmer. And look at that, man. Looking like $1,000,000. This is a soft, natural haircut. It would take about like 2 months for him to come back. These cuts take a bit longer. But he's looking fresh. Comment what you guys think in the chat. He's happy with it. There's a reason he came back for his 3rd time now. After 3 cuts, I lock a client in as mine. He originally found me on Instagram, and he's been rocking with us ever since. Just cashing him out. Boom. A really busy day today. The whole shop, Saturdays are always pumping. It's like the madness of the week, you know what I'm saying? See the speaker? I got this for $50 today at the bargain shop. Everything was 50% off. I like to have a calm ambiance, but get this place jumping.
Bluetooth mode connected.
What are you doing, Khalil?
Recording
Your data?
yeah.
This guy's tapping into the Asian connection. The Asian persuasion. Yo, Washington. He's half Asian, by the way. Half Jamaican. Alright, chat. This is my schedule today. There's 1 client. This is 2 clients, father and son. Client. Then my afternoon's booked. So I can only really fit in a lineup here. So I'm like 80% booked today. You want this? Fuck you. So we're just showcasing the ambience of the shop. It was a busy Saturday. Everyone was back-to-back busy. Every chair is pretty much full. Didi Cutter, he's our junior barber. He's doing some nice little basic scissor work on his client. He did a mohawk section, and he's just using vertical sections to get all the way to the top. I stress scissor work with my team. Look at him feeling himself, man. This guy's singing. But I stress scissor work because most people have straight hair. We do cut a lot of afro hair, but like if you can't do a quiff or a comb over or a crop top, like you're just losing out on money, man. Everyone can fade and do lineups, but what can you do with those scissors, man? What can you do with those scissors? It's 2025, man. It's a 9-year, represents completion. You guys better learn how to cut with scissors. That's part of your completion and your barber journey, man. You guys are lacking. This is 21st century fine men's grooming, from hot towels, bald head shaves, precise beard sculpting, modern precision cutting, mid-length scissor cuts, proper styling knowledge. This is the Rooted Barber Experience, 15 Simcoe St South, Oshawa. We do it all. Black hair, white hair, straight hair, no hair, bearded. We try and offer the most premium professional experience known to the Durham region, Greater Toronto area. We're not playing around, man. We're in it to serve you. This is a service industry. We have student barbers who charge $10, junior barbers who charge $30, senior barbers who charge $45, and we have master barber me. I charge $80, $100 with a cut. This is what we do. We have a price point for all of you. Subscribe and tap the link in the description to book an appointment.